Y'all ain't got to yell. I heard your messages. Now come on, let's get to cooking. Pay attention. You need a large cucumber, a large tomato, whatever type of oil you want. Don't ask me if it has to be vegetable oil. I just said use whatever you want. You need a little bit of jalapeno, if you like it spicy. Red cabbage, panko crumbs, brioche rolls. You want them to be on about the medium or to the large size because we're making shrimp po' boys today. You're going to need about a pound of shrimp, medium sized. I haven't decided which of these sauces I'm going to give a try today. Of course, I know how to make aioli from scratch, but I don't always feel like doing that. So I'm going to test one of these out. I'll let you know which one I decide to go with later on when we get to that part of this cooking video. 2 large eggs, Old Bay seasoning, and it ain't what? It ain't Maryland if it ain't. It ain't Maryland if it ain't Old Bay. All-purpose flour, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, slap your mama Creole seasoning. You see that? You see that? You see that? Don't ask me for the damn ingredient list. All right, now this recipe is going to go by pretty quickly, so y'all want to make sure that y'all have your vegetables and everything cleaned and rinsed and ready to go. In the cooking world, we call that mise en place, honey. Yes, I'm educated, bitch. That means to put it in place. So I'm going to go on ahead and get these veggies nice and cleaned up. I'm only going to use about half of this red cabbage, and I'm going to slice that down into nice thin shreds. I'll show all of y'all that in a few seconds, but I just wanted to reiterate the fact that this goes by pretty quickly. So get this part done first so that you can go on ahead and get it in the refrigerator and get it nice and cold. So we're going to deal with this cucumber first. Now, what I'm essentially doing with the cucumber, the tomato, and the cabbage is I'm kind of essentially making myself a little slaw. I like to have the extra crunch in my po' boys. I'm not saying that this is the traditional way to make po' boys. It's just the way that I like to make them. So I'm cutting these cucumbers into really nice thin slices just like this. And then I'm going to stack them up and then cut them up even smaller so that it kind of looks like a coleslaw. I'll show y'all what it looks like when I come right back. If you've never heard me say it before, honey, the most dangerous thing in the kitchen is not a sharp knife, baby. The most dangerous thing in the kitchen is a dull knife. Always make sure your knives are up to par before you go in to start doing any type of fancy slicing on anything. As y'all can see, I kind of cut these down into little matchsticks. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's all going to go in one large bowl. I'm going to finish getting this chopped up and then we'll move over to the cabbage next. Now, as far as this cabbage is concerned, I'm only going to be actually probably using about a quarter of this. I actually don't need that much. I'm only making this for myself, but of course you guys can make a whole lot more. It's completely up to you. I like to make sure that I go in and remove the first few layers of the leaves. I'm also going to give this an extra rinse, and you want to do this nice and thinly. You want it to kind of be like matchsticks as well. Okay, I'm going to get this chopped up, and then I will come back and let y'all know what the next step is. I'm going to go on ahead and get this jalapeno diced up. Now, if you don't want any of the seeds or any of the extra heat, just go in and take your spoon and pit that right on out. That's totally fine. If you want to keep the extra heat, then just keep the seeds in. It's up to you. If you want it extra spicy, and if you don't want to use like a spicy sauce per se, but you want the coleslaw itself to have more of a kick, then double up the jalapenos, or you can use a different type of pepper. It's completely up to you. But as you can see, I'm taking my knife and I'm cutting these into very, very tiny little thin matchsticks pieces. And then I'm going to cut them in half one more time. And then that's what I have there. I'm going to finish chopping this up. I'm going to go in and give a dice to this tomato. And then the next time you guys see me, I will be showing you what is inside of the bowl. Because y'all don't need to watch me chop up no damn tomato, honey. I'll be back. All right, so as you can see, we have our cucumbers, we have our red cabbage, our jalapeno, and our tomatoes. So you guys are probably wondering, are you not going to add any sauce to this, any salt, any pepper? The answer is no, I'm not. This is meant to be a dry slaw. Think of this as the condiments that would typically go on top of a burger or something on top of a taco. I just like to slice it up, have it all mixed together so that when I put the shrimp in the sub roll later on, all I got to do is put this on the top and then drizzle the sauce on. So let me get this mixed up. Now I'm just going to give this a nice little mix. I did not drain any of the liquid off of the tomatoes. I kind of just still let those do their thing. If you guys want, I mean, you can add a little bit of salt, but just know if you do that, you're going to have to really make sure that you drain out any of the excess liquid because the salt will remove any of the moisture from this. But I like it just like this. I want the extra crunch. I want it to be nice and firm and still keep its freshness just the way it is. So now I can put the lid on this, plop this stuff in the refrigerator, and then this is ready to go. Let's have a conversation about shrimp, because this is the real reason why I like to make these at home. Because I don't trust that people actually be peeling and deveining the shrimp the way that they claim that they are doing in the restaurants. So I like to make sure that I do it at the house myself. I have a bowl here of cold water. I like to make sure that I not only inspect the top of the shrimp, but if there is a black vein on the bottom, I also remove that. And I know a lot of people don't. So people typically look here and think, oh, it's all clear. But then they completely ignore that there. I don't want that in there. So I'm going to go in with the butter knife and I'm going to remove the veins out of all of these, put them in cold water, and I'll show y'all what we're doing next when we come back, because y'all don't need to sit here and watch me do this for the next 5 minutes. But just so that we're clear, that is what it should look like at the end. There should be no vein in the front and no vein in the back. There should be no veins anywhere, okay? That's how I like my shrimp, perfectly clean. Let me get back to work. While I'm sitting here cleaning up these shrimp, I just wanted to say something really quick about seafood, just in general. If you are ever cooking seafood, and if you ever start to smell ammonia, okay, anything like that, throw it all away. I don't give a damn how expensive the seafood was. Your hospital bill is going to be a whole lot more damn expensive, because now you done gave yourself E. coli, Zika virus, food poisoning, okay, West Nile. Okay, don't be silly. If the seafood don't smell right, do not test fate. Get rid of it. That's also the other reason why I take this time to clean out shrimp. I don't give a damn how long it takes, okay? It's bad enough I'm already eating the bottom feeder. I want no parts of whatever was going on in its intestines, okay? I want that clean and clear. I don't want that weighing heavy on my spirit nor my stomach, all right? Now let me get back to this so I can go ahead and fry these up. And for those of you that were contemplating skipping this step, yeah, you probably one of the people that don't wash between your cheeks. Now that I got these all nice and clean, I'm going to go in with a little bit of seasoning. I'm going to go in with some onion powder, my garlic powder, some of the Slap Your Mama. This is the spicy. I'm only going to use just a little teeny bit of this because it does have salt. And I'm about to also add in some Old Bay. Because what? It ain't Maryland if it ain't. Period. I don't know how many times I gotta tell y'all. Now, just so you guys know, you can use the regular Old Bay like I'm using. You can also use the low sodium, the lemon and herb, the lemon pepper. There's so many different variations. I'm also going to add in some paprika for color and then a little bit of black pepper. Now, I'm also going to go ahead and add in my 2 eggs. I'm pretty much making like somewhat of a batter. And to be quite honest, I might only use 1 egg today. So let me just give this a nice little mix around. Get these nice and coated. And then I'm going to put these in some flour. I'm not going to put any seasoning in that flour at all. And I will tell you guys why in just a minute. Now you can see our shrimp are nicely seasoned. I'll be right back. I'm going to go in and add in my 2 tablespoons of flour and give this a mix. Once again, I'm making a batter here. I'll be right back. As you can see, we have our battered shrimp. I'm now going to go in with the panko crumbs and make sure that they are fully coated. I have my oil over here already preheated to 350 degrees. This is what your shrimp should look like once they are nice and coated. I'm going to get these all ready to go. I'll be right back. All right, now that I have all of my shrimp nicely coated, they've been sitting here for maybe about 2 minutes, so now everything has adhered just the way I wanted to. Let's get them in the oil. And y'all know it don't take long for shrimp to cook, honey, so just make sure your oil is at temp. You also want to make sure you have a little wire rack over there on the side because you want to keep them nice and crispy. If you put them on paper towels, they're going to start to steam. I'll be back once these are done. As y'all can see, we are already getting some beautiful coloring. Like I said, these are shrimp. They should only take about 2 to 3 minutes to fry up. You don't want them to get too dark. All right, y'all, this first set is done. And so I'm going to go on ahead and put these over on the wire rack just like that. And the reason why I didn't load them up too much with Old Bay to begin with is because I'm now going to go in and I'm going to sprinkle them down with a little bit of fresh Old Bay right on the top. Now, bitch, you tell me that them shrimp don't look damn delicious. And I'm just going in with just a light dusting of Old Bay. I'm going to keep cooking them up, and then it's going to be time to assemble this poor boy sandwich. All right, baby, let's go on ahead because I'm excited. This roll is so soft. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to load it up with my shrimp. Don't be shy. Baby, you worked hard for this meal this week. And bitch, we fitting to eat today. This ain't no time to be shy. When I make a sandwich, baby, it's going to be a sandwich. So when I say load it up, this is what I mean. You see that? You see that? So we got our shrimp in there just as nice. Got that there like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with just a little bit of that mixture of the tomatoes, the cabbage, the jalapenos, and I'm just going to throw it right on the top. Just like this. I love the freshness of this. Okay? So let me turn this around. See that? I'm going to drizzle it with some sauce. Drizzler. Just like that. And let's go in for a taste test, bitch. Taste test, let's go.